Hello then, and welcome to, well, I thought I sort of last of these Zoom interviews in the build up to Wembley, but I'm delighted to be joined by the newest manager of Concord Rangers and who's buoyed by the love of his life, Pablo Fornals, sending his beloved West Ham to the Europa League next season. I'm joined by, of course, Chris Search. Searchy, how are we? It's been a whirlwind few weeks for you, isn't it?
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, Kian. Yeah, no, been a whirlwind few weeks. I think after the initial sort of week, it's sort of settled down. I think still, obviously, the National League's still ongoing, so there's still not everyone knows exactly where they stand for next year yet in player wise. So things are a little bit calmer, but I expect that to pick up in the coming weeks once people obviously get released or retained, whatever the case may be. So comings and goings at the club, so should get a little bit busier in the coming weeks. But certainly, as you say, the initial week or so after the surprise resignation of both Ant and Dan was hectic and busy, to say the least.
Definitely. Obviously, a new manager means new coaching staff, and you've brought obviously in with you Greeny and Craig, who was obviously brought in with Scopesy, but has stuck around with you. How good is it for those two Craig to stick around with you and getting Greeny back in, which, like you, I think this is his first kind of proper men's football coaching position, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when it was made evident and clear that Danny wasn't going to return to the club, I thought long and hard about actually, going for the job. My view was that the club was in a good position on the field, a good position off the field, and what they had built there, I didn't really want to see just crumble. If maybe a potentially new management team come in and took over, then likelihood is they'd have sort of Unconcord related players involved, Unconcord related staff, and it would have made the club a little bit sort of disjointed. So I had a long, hard think about it, and obviously, with my lack of experience or perceived lack of experience in senior football, I had to think of a solid proposal to give myself a good chance and get myself sort of number one candidate. So Danny was an absolute, I knew Danny from the playing days, got on well with Danny. He's a great guy. He's well respected around the football world, and he's certainly well respected at Concord, and with the committee at Concord, he's very well liked. So it was an absolute no-brainer for me to approach Danny. He's class in everything he does. He's got a great knowledge, great understanding, and we're aligned to where we want to go with the football club and the philosophy that we want to take onto the field. So he was an absolute key in my proposal to the club. And Craig's, I mean, I didn't really know Craig too well before he came in before the trophy final. Obviously, brought in to replace Roche. And I'm still, I bump into my youngest lad, Alf. He plays cricket at Rankins. I bumped into a guy the other day who knows Craig, and he was like, "Oh, mate, what a top guy. I used to do like the Alf Bilby soccer schools in Thundersley, like £1.50 a day, bring gum down and basically play all day." Like, I'm still struggling to find someone that has got a bad word to say about Craig. So if anyone watches this video and actually doesn't like Craig, then please drop me a note, because he seems such a likable guy, and that's obviously a testament to him. But his knowledge of football and his understanding of the game, and the suggestions that we've already had going into the group about pre-season and football philosophy going forward. Again, me, Danny, and Craig are fully aligned. So them two are absolutely key to where we want to go with the football team. Hopefully.
Obviously, Craig has managed teams before as well, so he's coming in as a first-team coach. Are you going to, because this is your first touch into men's kind of management, are you going to kind of seek him for advice in the early days, do you think?
Yeah, listen, I think the way we are and the way that I want to do, I think people who know me, I think they know my attributes. I'm good with speaking to people. I understand, what you need to hear to make them sort of perform at their best, I believe. So man management style is probably, I'd say, my strongest attributes. And it's a case of learning quickly from the likes of Craig and Danny. So absolutely, I'll be using every sort of means possible to pick their brains on tactics, on formations, on shape, on anything they've got. I'm a sponge. I want to try and absorb it and take in as much as we can. We're very much a team. You know, me, Danny, and Craig. I think, you know, individually we're probably perceived as, you know, not strong in certain areas in terms of referring to management. But I think when you put us together as a three, then I think we sort of tick every single box. You know, and that's how I've sort of sold it to the boys, and they bought into it brilliantly. You know, they're very keen to be part of it. I think, as you say, because maybe the experience between us, you know, even the level that Concord are at, I think even it's above where Craig's been, you know, but I think we can learn and evolve together. I think, you know, we're taking the jump together. So I think that's a key point that we're taking across, is it is together. You know, I don't think any one of us would have been able to do it on our own. So by uniting and putting the three of us together, it means that we can actually, you know, make that jump. And, you know, hopefully we can evolve and learn and go from there.
You've spoken about your philosophy, and obviously, no offence to you, but apart from people within Concord Rangers, no one actually knows who Chris Search is in the wider football world, do they? And I've seen some of your under-18 matches, you know, in the past season, so I kind of get how you want to play football. But for you, what is the Chris Search kind of philosophy on how he's going to get Concord Rangers playing football next season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, first things first, I can't ever take offence to you, Kian. You know, you're big bubbly ball of fun. But no, I you know, our philosophy, you know, me, Danny, and Craig, we very much want to try and really keep it on the deck as best we can. You know, we've got some good footballers at the club. I think, you know, the way that we want to take it is we want to try and play attacking football. You know, we want to play with a high press. You know, maybe our naivety might be our strength to the extent that I'm going to go in there pretty much how we do with the 18s. You know, 18s obviously been very successful. I'm going to go in there with a bit of a, you know, as much as we respect the opposition, I don't think there's always anything to fear. You know, we'll respect them and we won't underestimate them. But on the other hand, I think that the you know, our strength and our naivety will be the fact that we won't be fearful of people. You know, we'll go out there and we'll go man for man. You know, we'll trust our own players to try and get the job done. And, you know, I think we'll try and play on the front foot as best we can. Very much, you know, the players we've got in the squad, they've all very much bought into the way that we want to play. You know, I'm not saying we're playing tick-attack. We're going to play stupid, like, you know, invite a press and lose the ball in silly positions. But I'm certainly going to ask the boys if they can play with a bit of risk and play on the edge. Then that's what I want for them, and that's you know, and trust them in their process and their application on the field.
Perfect. So obviously you've mentioned players. We've had a couple re-sign the last few days. Obviously Roasty, Pollock, Blanchie, and obviously Joe Payne. And I think I'm right. Isn't Ollie Kensdale as well?
Ollie Kensdale, yeah.
We've got five there.
Yeah, Ollie's coming in. Jaden's committed again for this year. Yeah, so he's a young player that obviously we're keen to get around the group, you know. But you know, I think the four you mentioned there, plus Hagee, obviously of the sort of older group, if you like. You know, I think it's going to be Aaron's fourth year, Billy's fourth year, albeit he's had a gap in between with minutes and time away. Blanchie's obviously, I think he's coming into his third year now. Obviously, a couple of disjointed years, but all of these guys are very much the guys that we want to be kept at the club. The Concord DNA, you know, they've got a decent work ethic, a solid sort of background and understanding of what's expected at Concord. You know, it's work hard. You know, show that you care, show that it means something to you, and then you know, when the quality they've got certainly will shine through. But they're definitely players that was very important to me, you know, as I said about, you know, when I went for the job, to keep the continuity and consistency within the group. Them four, still waiting on Hagee, plus Hagee is an absolute must for us at the club, and delighted to get the boys signed. Obviously added Ollie Kensdale, you know, he's a bright young player, you know, he's again, he's shown from where he is at Colchester United, you know, his circumstances and what he's willing to sort of sacrifice, if you like, to come and play for Concord is exactly what we want at the club. You know, he's given up a lot, if you like, to come and prove again that he wants to get back in the system, and he's used Concord as that springboard. And I'm sure Ollie, if he has a season that we maybe expect, he will go to bigger and better things. Payne's come in again, you know, old school sort of left back, you know, likes his tackles, wins his headers, good on the ball. But again, first and foremost, will work hard. You know, he will give everything he's got for the shirt. And
there's not many players who've had their debuts at Wembley, is there?
I reckon there could be the only one ever in the history of football, maybe, that's had their debut at Wembley. Yeah. But no, and then obviously Jaden, young, hungry guy, I've been training with the group for a while. He's already been around a couple of decent clubs. So Jaden needs to come in and get some minutes and try and lock down the spot. He's only young again. That's very much where we want to go with the club. Young, hungry players maybe with a point to prove, players that maybe been rejected by the system but still think they can get back into it. So, I think that's the idea. If we've got this young, hungry group, that are all aligned to, it's very important they buy into this Concord philosophy, how we want to play, and also the fact that there's the biggest thing is the club. If they understand that they're playing as a unit, playing as a group, playing together, if we're playing well, as a byproduct of that individually, they must be playing well, so they will get their just reward. So we're not about individuals next year. We are 11 on the field, plus the subs and plus the group. So, we're a squad of whatever, 18, 20, but they'll all be aligned to the one goal, and that's Concord Rangers achieving as best they can as a collective. It's very important that they buy into that message.
Finally, then, looking ahead to next season, obviously everyone else's season's finishing like February, March.
Yeah.
We obviously got lucky really with a trophy, and we managed to get that kind of run of games that kind of, I think, kept most people at the club sane, that we were still out and about playing football. Pre-season, obviously just around the corner. What are the plans there? Do you have any kind of exclusive kind of games for supporters that they could be eyeing up, or what kind of is the plan with pre-season?
I think obviously with where we were coming in only a couple of weeks ago, there's still a few moving parts on the pre-season. There are some games that we've firmed up today. There's one or two that we're trying to get in on the. Just bear with me, it's just here. Here we go. We're back on the 29th of June, and we're looking for. We had a game penciled in for the 10th against a decent side, but unfortunately they've got prior arrangements. So we're trying to get a game on the 10th of July and the 13th, which should be hopefully two good home ties. We're waiting on Lewis to work his magic, and Danny Green. That's the only hint I might really say is that Danny Green could be involved with them. So if you want to wiki Danny Green, you might see where he's played, and that's hopefully where we're going on them ones. And then we've got pre-season. I think it's we've got here Dagenham and Redbridge on the 17th. 20th we've got Tilbury. 24th we're at home to Thurrock. Sorry, we're away to Thurrock. 27th Bowes and Pitsea. We've got I think that's about it. Malden and Tiptree on the 7th of August. And we've got a lovely little surprise for the boys. On the 6th of July, Craig Shipman's proposed the nuclear races at the Wild Forest in Brentwood, I think that is. So the
I saw that when you sent me the plan. What is the nuclear? Is it go-karting? I've been trying to figure it out. Is that what it is?
Go-karting. The boys would love it to be go-karting. It's basically the run through the forest, up and down ladders, over bridges, up and down, down the water slides, through the an army-based sort of running track, with a bit of fun. So it'll be good for the boys to sort of a bit of camaraderie.
I thought it was go-karting. Yeah.
No,
I was going to ask to come, but I'm all right.
No, you come and have a run at this. It'll be good.
No.
No, but no, that's the boy. We've got a good schedule lined up for him. It's pretty much as it was, to be honest. We're trying to keep, as I say, the thing wasn't broken before, in my opinion. No, it was there. It just so happened that people chose the path they chose, and that created the opportunity. So, keep it together, keep the continuity going, and then hopefully with a few tweaks and a couple of additions here and there, I think we'll be in a good position for this club.
Are you excited?
Massively, yeah. I mean, it's a bit non-stop at the moment. Obviously, I'm still doing the 18s, so we've got a semi-final of the midweek cup tonight away at London Colney. I was out watching a game last night, sort of North London way. I'm at Sutton tomorrow for 2 games, watching sort of the exhibition sort of type game, showcasing a few guys. 2 games tomorrow, meeting a player tomorrow night. So it has been a bit of a whirlwind, but it's good. I've got the time to do it, and at the moment I am enjoying it. It is good. Phone's going. all sorts of random messages asking for the trials and what have you. But no, I wouldn't change.
You don't. If you want to know about trials, I can send you all the Twitter DMs we get on players asking for trials. Quite good.
I can imagine. No, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change a thing. Really enjoying the first few weeks, and hopefully it will continue in this vein. But obviously, proof will be in the pudding on the pitch come August 14th.
Perfect. Searchy, I'm sure that's going to give everyone in the club and outside the club a great insight to who the next manager of Concord Rangers is and you as a person. But yeah, thanks very much for catching up with me.
You're welcome. Thank you, Kian, and thanks for your time.